Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. We got a few buddies over this evening, and we got a topic or two. So, Hillbilly, start us off, brother.
Hey man, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's had a great week. Thanks for having me on here. It's always so fun to be here on a Friday night. I look forward to it all the time. Oh man, it's been a great week for me. Just been shooting some videos. We had a kind of a storm blow in, and it turned cool, so that's even better. I mean, I'm just all excited. So I appreciate you having me on. How you been doing, Gene?
I've been doing pretty good, Hillbilly. Man, it's always good to be on here on Friday nights. I love this. Have a good time always. We got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Me personally, I've been working all week. That's all I've been doing, working. But with that, Walter, how you doing down there?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. Good to be here as always. I really enjoy, as everybody knows, I love interacting with our side chat over here. It's just a lot of fun for me. I didn't have any storm blow in or anything like that today. I did have a woman trying to pound my door down about 3:00 this morning. I finally had to get up and let her out. I don't know what that was all about, but anyway. It's yeah. Don't give me any grief for that when you didn't pay nothing to hear it. So now it's been a good week for me. I got some shooting done, I got a little bit of casting done, and worked on some video stuff today, and everything's all hunky dory and copacetic here at Casa de Viejo. So Chris from the 740, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back. I'm excited to be on here tonight. Gonna have some fun. It's had a great day today. The temperature here has finally cooled down. We were right at about 68, 70 degrees today. Got a lot of videos shot this morning at the range, and got my squirrel gun video finally done and uploaded today. So that was awesome. I've enjoyed so much watching everybody's squirrel gun videos, so I had to get in on that action. So other than that, like I said, I'm glad to be here, and going to turn it over to Mark Thomas.
Thank you, Chris. Great to be here. Been looking forward to it all week, and sort of like Gene, I've been back to work. We did have Monday off for Labor Day, and that's about the only shooting I got to do. I finally got that little 36 caliber cap and ball revolver out. Got to put a few rounds through it, and it works, but I got a little bit of work to do. I have some parts ordered. Going to put a new hammer in it, new bolt. We'll get that thing back up to where it should be. And other than that, just been working. Been looking forward to hanging out with everybody this evening. So let's get on. I think we're going to talk a little bit about squirrel getters.
If we can, CW kind of started this mess, and I'll ask y'all if y'all keep CW in your prayers, and say an extra prayer for CW and his family, as well as Lakeview. Hey, Lakeview, and his wife and all. Yeah, the squirrel. I did a squirrel rifle video, and I really like that. I really like that shotgun I showed in that video, and amazing. I like the shotguns for squirrel hunting, and one of the, is like I said in that video, it's a different kind of different kind. So we'll talk. There's Chicago Mike. What's going on, buddy? I want to take a second and welcome everybody's watching on Chris's channel and on Hillbilly's channel and on Hillbilly's Facebook. Y'all are always welcome. So come on in here and bring your questions and your topics. But this is time of year that we do kind of like to get out in the woods and start doing something like Hillbilly said. Football season is upon us. He's not worried about any kind of sickness going through his Kansas City Chiefs because they couldn't catch a cold naked in Alaska, which is,
They couldn't catch nothing last night. Doggone it. Yeah.
When you're a
Can't
quarterback,
blame Patrick. He's putting them in the numbers, and fellers just had jelly fingers or something.
when you're the quarterback and they're bouncing off of numbers and helmets, guess what? It ain't your fault, buddy. But anyway,
No, that's one of those interceptions that's hard to take when it hits somebody in the chest and goes up in the air, and it's considered an interception.
there's an interesting thing. Well, I believe all my guns are. I mean, I've got several ways of storing my firearms, but I like to have it one at least handy to get to and ready to use. I think most people do.
As
So
long as they're not in the Liberty safe.
Yep. You guys follow what was going on with that fiasco? Well, you talk about stepping in it. They're done for.
I've not heard.
But if you got a Liberty safe, you probably put a padlock on the outside.
Yeah, they well, for one thing, they've been bought out by a bunch of liberals, and they were giving up their database to the DOJ without knowledge to the purchasers, so that DOJ knows where they are.
There was a fella involved in the January 6th debacle, and they went to his house with a search warrant just because he had been present on January 6th. And they wanted to get into his Liberty safe. Of course, he wasn't given them the combination. They got a hold of Liberty, and Liberty gave him the master code to get into it.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't have to do it. They could have told him to go pound sand, but they rolled right the hell over. And yeah. I know I wouldn't be buying one.
Yeah, kind of from what I understand, they had a search warrant, but that does not include, personal, like private stuff like that. So, if they were subpoenaed or whatever, or if the judge, issued a statement for them to give up the number, then they would have. But they did not have, I guess, legally, by no laws at all, they had to give up that code. And
No, they just handed it over.
But I'm glad you guys brought this up. I hope you don't mind, Jamie, because this is the topic I was wanting to talk about tomorrow night, but we got like giveaways tomorrow night. So they did admit that they gave the ATF their master code that will get into any safes. So if you own one of those, I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but I assume now they have a code that will get into your Liberty safe. They don't have to call them anymore. So I don't know.
Not a good thing.
No, not at all.
It's not.
If you have one, get rid of it. If you're looking at purchasing one, look at a different brand. Something that's not affiliated with that company, because how many brands does that company own now?
Yeah, I didn't even think about what Hillbilly just said. There's probably just one master code that they have.
There is.
They can access everything now. Think about how many Liberty safes are out there.
According,
Hell, I don't know what mine are. I'm safe.
I believe, according
Mine
to
are
the statement
cannons.
they put out, that they do have one master code. I assume it's for all models. I don't know if different models, like maybe an older model, has a different master code or whatever, but they actually have one master code that works for all their safes, or certain models of them, I guess. So That's another thing that's
Broke
crazy.
Loader
Right
2.
there.
Broke Loader 2's got a question. Is a Remington 783 worth buying? I remember
Everything's
back
worth
long.
buying if you can get it for the right price.
Well, I looked at them early on when they were the budget line of Remington to compete with the Savage Axis, and it's before the Ruger American got to be a big thing. It was right about the time the Ruger Americans were getting ready to come out. I didn't buy one because I didn't like there wasn't enough material in the bolt for me, Broke Loader. Everything else was okay, but that bolt was floppy in the chamber, and it's got, the regular size head. It tapers down in the middle, the bolt does. Now if you can find one that's got a regular bolt, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, Remington's come a long way from what they were in the 90s and early 2000s, and well, let's face it, up until they bit the dust and somebody had to, I guess it was Palmetto State Armory came and bought them out eventually. But take a look at that bolt before you buy that gun. And because you can get a Remington 700 ADL for right in the just a little bit more money than that, right about that $400 to $500 price point, and that to me would be a much better deal because you're going to put a chassis or a better stock or whatever on it. So I can't believe that about Liberty. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a couple big YouTubers that literally just put Liberty doors. I'm pretty sure it's Liberty on their homemade gun vaults.
I've enjoyed the memes where they've erased the TY on the door and wrote LAL.
There's a lot of really good memes, man. Yeah. So I was going to talk a little bit about squirrel guns and the videos. Man, everybody's been putting out some awesome videos of the squirrel guns. I mean, that's a lot of fun. I'm so glad that CW started that, and it's been a lot of fun. And just so people know, there's a few like Jamie called me out to do one or whatever, or challenged me or whatever. If you guys want to make one, please do, because you do not have to be challenged or called out to make one of those. No way. So I'd love to see more of these videos come out. They're a lot of fun. It's really cool how different people have different squirrel guns. Chris's is just totally different than any of mine. And so it's so cool to see all the different varieties of them.
I have not seen Chris's yet. I was getting ready for the stream tonight when I saw his pop up. So that'd be my first order of business when we get done.
Oh, Chris, do you have anything that has a wood stock on it anyhow?
No.
I didn't know if you did.
I had to think about it, but no, I don't.
Chris
I got a new gun
wood
here
stock
that has
the time.
I got
It
a new
gets cold.
gun
He
here.
just throws those wood stocks on the fire that he took off his firearms.
Scotsman, there's nothing devil's advocate about that. That's the cold, hard facts of life.
Yeah.
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 But it's just like, Bud Light. We got to let them know that we're not in favor of what it is they did and what they're doing. I'm happy to see all of the bad press that they're getting because of that little move of theirs.
Well, probably one of the funniest memes I've seen was a Liberty safe, and they opened the door and it's full of Bud
Full
Light.
of Bud Light.
Yeah. Yeah. Birds of a feather right there, huh?
Well, let's see it, Rick.
Rick.
Bring it.
I didn't even
Excited.
bust
Look
out
at
any
that.
shotguns.
Dang, Mig. Come again when you can't stay so long, will you?
Bye, Mig. Bye, Mig.
A shotgun on a squirrel. I just can't see the squirrel anymore.
Let me go back to Broke Loader 2 here. That Ruger American Predator will do just about whatever you want to do. I have one in 6.5 Creedmoor, and it's remarkable for the money.
Doesn't have any problem getting out to 1,000 yards, does she, Jamie?
Not for us, it don't. Of course, there's a lot of work in that, but yeah.
You mean you do all the work and then you let us shoot it after you get it dialed in?
I didn't say that.
We'll be bringing our own down there this next time. We'll have them lined up. It's all
That's
good.
cool. That's going to be fun.
I can't wait. I got mine all ready to go. Got a new rest for it. I'm ready. April can't get here soon enough.
I believe we might have a few other gun creators that might meet you guys there if we can get this set up for you. There's another channel that Ron White had told me about, and I went and checked it out and subscribed. I really liked his stuff. Help me out, Ron, if you're out there. I think you are, but I believe it's I'm Not From This Planet. And great stuff. And anyway, he lives in Nashville area, and so they go to Dead Zero quite a bit.
You talking about Ivan over there at Not From
Ivan,
This Planet? Yeah.
And
He's a cool
so I
guy.
told him, I was like, yeah, Jamie and Chris, a bunch of them go down there. And so he's like, yeah, we're going to have to hook up next time. So,
It's always good to meet new people.
oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think all three of them are from Tennessee. Ivan, Paul V, and what's the girl's
Tennessee
name?
Goddess.
Tennessee Goddess, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to put his link out here. Great show.
Yeah, he's got a cool personality.
He does. He's funny.
His live show is
Great
fun on
person.
Sundays too.
6-shooter, I'd like one of those as well, but I'd also like one in 32 caliber. Flintlock to hunt squirrels with. That would be a trip.
Abrams uses a pellet gun.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used a pellet gun. We had a small walnut orchard on one piece of property, and pellet gun was nice and quiet. And, you could get pretty close to them.
There's the spirit of the Ozarks. What's going on, Ozark?
Buddy. Scotsman's picking on me out there.
You've been his
Not a hard
huckleberry
seltzer.
for,
Guarantee you that, buddy.
you've been his huckleberry for a couple of months now, ain't you, brother?
I just want to hit that $10,000 goal for Lakeview, so he has to come on my channel and drink a hard seltzer. Who knows? He might like it. He might be drinking hard seltzer after that. I don't know.
I kind of doubt it.
Walter, you put
I
up
seriously doubt it either.
you put up a squirrel gun video today.
I did.
Hadn't seen yours yet either.
I'm halfway through it. It's pretty good.
Well, Ozark, I've been dealing with the COVID thing again, but I'm better now.
Were you off work, Jamie? Did you have to miss work?
I missed the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday before Labor Day.
Oh man.
Ozark, if you're drinking Bud Light, it's safe to keep it in your Liberty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody gonna steal that.
There's Bald and Curious.
Hey, Val.
Evening, Bald.
We got squirrels everywhere running around down here. I tell you what, we don't have that I used to love to hunt when I was a kid, and that's rabbits. Rabbits seem to run in
The cycles.
running cycles. They'll be all over the place for 2 or 3 years, and then the coyotes come eat them all up, and then they're gone for about 7 years.
Yeah, we had the same thing out here, Jamie. And it's not just the coyotes, but the snakes will get them, and the snakes run in kind of a similar cycle, but about a year offset. You know, the snakes will get real thick, and mostly we're talking about rattlesnakes, and they'll get down in those rabbit holes and eat the babies, you know, as fast as they're being born, just about. And so then all of a sudden there's a big snake population, and you got to watch your step everywhere you're tramping around in the grass. And you know, then there's nothing for the snakes to eat.
I've always been told that, you know, when Mama Rabbit lays her babies, she'll stay kind of away from that nest, so predators can't find it. You know, so she goes back, you know, quite a bit, but like she stays away from it. But yeah, I'm thinking coyotes. And also, I know a bad winter, man, it's hard on quail and rabbits and a lot of stuff.
So I used my old first rifle for a lot of years shooting squirrels, and then when I got older, I got about 15, 16 years old, I got that Marlin Model 60, and that thing was cool. That thing, you had multiple shots, and you could really put some down. Then I started using the shotgun when I got older in life. And I explained that in my video about how we'd go out and find a bunch of nests close to a tree and scrape out a big circle around the tree, and we could go 360 degrees all the way around the tree and just sit down and stand up or whatever. And that was pretty cool. And you saw one, you just shot it, and you tried to remember where it was, and you kept count. And then when you got done, you'd go pick them all up, take them home, and Mama cooked squirrel dumplings that night. But
Well,
I'd rather kill them with a 22 rifle.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, the headshots way better. When I was young here in our little community, there's a couple, kids is 4 or 5 years older than me, and we all kind of go out hunting together some. And this one, he shot the squirrel on a run on a tree limb, and I mean, just right out of the tree it went. And they're like, man, that dude's a sharpshooter. I mean, he is good. Anyway, he went and got that squirrel by the tail and hooked it on run the tail through his belt, carried it on the side. And we weren't 5 minutes later, that feller, he just squawking and jumping and everything. It knocked that squirrel out. And it come alive with his hanging on the side of his britches. His tail through his belt. And that dude bit the tire out of him several times before it got out of that belt. Oh, my goodness.
I'd pay to see that.
Too bad we didn't have video cameras back then. Man.
Yeah. Most of our squirrel hunting out here is ground squirrels, and they're everywhere, and there's no closed season on them, and there's no limit. As many as you can shoot, and they're kind of rough on a lot of our irrigation systems that we have out here. A lot of it's drip irrigation, and during the dry season, those suckers will get up and just chew the daylights out of all of that drip pipe, and just you can wreck a whole section of grapevines. One squirrel go chew that line in half, and before the grower notices, it might have been 5 days or something, and those vines are stressed. So they're pretty happy to have people come shoot them.
Yeah. Jamie, would you mind pulling up Ashley A's comment out there? I think
The one about the best way to cook a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of. Oh man, I don't know. Is there a bad way to cook squirrel?
My favorite way was over an open fire with like a spit stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roasted
Sissy
over.
Bob.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know you guys like, especially there in the South and stuff. I mean, we like our eggs and bacon and sausage and all that, but biscuits with gravy. And, most usually that gravy's got sausage in it. And it's always a real treat to have squirrel in that gravy, other than sausage. And that squirrel gravy's just, oh, man. Squirrel dumplings. I think I could go on about like Bubba Gump did about the shrimp myself.
Well, you can parboil them and then fry them, and then you can make squirrel dumplings. But my favorite's got to be the squirrel dumplings.
Oh man,
we had about a half dozen of us at camp one year, and we didn't all limit out, but we had quite a few. We quartered them up and fried them like hot wings. Put them in hot sauce. That was pretty good.
Yeah, fried squirrels, good.
3 squirrels is a decent dinner for 2 guys, or a man and a woman.
Yeah.
So if you got a family of like, say you got 2 adults and 2 kids, 4 would be perfect. If you're making dumplings out of them, or if you're frying them up like what Mark said, the more the better. There's my old buddy Steve, woodworking in Homestead. What's going on, buddy? So when I read that question, it was kind of like it reminded me. Yeah, y'all gonna freak out. Y'all remember Alf?
Yeah.
TV show Alf. remember he used to say, "I love cats. I just can't eat a whole one by myself."
Yeah.
And rabbits about like that. One rabbit is probably good for two people. Two rabbits, three people definitely is enough.
Yeah.
There's Ricky Baird. What's going on? You back in the great state of Georgia, brother? Yeah, I got to go watch Chris and Walter's video. Who knew Stalker Steve liked Alf?
Who didn't like Alf? That was a good
I've never
wholesome
tried any
show.
shake and bake on a squirrel before. I'm gonna try some of that.
I know. Uh, Ozark agreed with me on the cooking thing. Fry them up and then turn them into squirrel dumplings. Tommy Gunn. Dove season here opened last Saturday morning. Tomorrow morning, archery starts for deer, and it's 8:34 p.m. and 77 degrees with about, let's see what the forecast is. High pollen. So it ain't saying what the humidity is right now. But we got a chance of rain. 57% humidity. So when it's 77, it's probably feeling more like 80. So my point is, it's still hot here. Of course, you would recommend that, Ozark. You would win. You always do. So there's that. Man's a classically trained chef. So
yeah, me and him have to team up. We got plenty of squirrels. We can feed quite a bit out of these Ozark Mountains.
We've done squirrels in a crock pot with some brown gravy too. That just fine.
All right.
Get them till they're falling off the bone.
I can't. I don't know. I ain't done them like they did on Duck Dynasty, where you do the whole squirrel head and everything. I don't think I can do that.
You don't want them staring back at you. Huh?
No, not at all.
we're supposed to be talking about squirrel guns and not cooking squirrels. But since you brought it up, there's this thing in the South. And Ozark, I know you've seen this happen. The lady that cooked for us when I was a little kid, Chris, I know you're going to freak. She would, I'd clean the squirrels, and I always, when I peeled them, I would cut the head off and throw the head with the fur and the others. And she said, "No, get me them heads." And she would put the heads in the dumplings. And she would take and scoop out the heads. She'd take a tine of her fork and go through each eye socket and pop the lid of the head off, and then scoop that off and take her fork and eat the brains.
Not me.
Ooh.
Now, I've done that crawdads in Louisiana, but I don't think I'm going to do that to a squirrel.
See, Ozark knew exactly where I was going. I didn't get it out of my mouth.
Yeah.
To each their own.
I reckon, man. Now, being from the South, we've been accused of eating anything that anybody would batter and deep fry, but ain't going there, man. I'm sorry. I just ain't. There's Pat in the bunker. What's going on?
Howdy, Pat.
Pat.
That kind of explains a lot, don't it, Ozark?
The scroll brains make you smarter.
Rick, you think that sounds like something out of a horror film? Being a 13-year-old boy and watching this stuff go down.
Yeah, I'm all about, trying to eat every piece of an animal that you have to take, but, feller got to draw a line somewhere. We had an exchange student from Africa, and, we'd catch a, chicken and clean it up for Sunday dinner. And I was in the carcass. He goes, "You're not saving them feet?" I'm like, "Why would I say these chicken feet?" He goes, "Those are good." I'm like, "You want them?" He goes, "Yeah." And I'll be doggone, he didn't cook them chicken feet up and eat them.
How much can you eat off of a chicken's foot?
Not much.
I mean, come on.
It's like chicken lips, ain't
Not
Not a whole lot of food value in there.
Yeah.
it?
Like
Scrapple.
trying to pull their teeth out.
Ozark, I've always looked at Scrapple as chitlins. Same thing.
I'll tell you what Scrapple is. Scrapple is delicious.
Well, I'm not eating chitlins, so I guess Scrapple's out of the picture too.
What is Scrapple?
A little bit of everything. Nose to tail.
Well, everything in the middle of the nose and tail is good stuff. So it's just the nose and the tail I don't want.
Right.
Hence, I'm not
I
eating
agree.
chitlins.
I agree, Ricky. I'm not much on organ meat like hearts, and livers, and stuff. I was cleaning a deer one day and I held up the heart to show my son right where the bullet went through, and the property owner's dog took the heart out of my hand and ate it right there. But that's cool, man. There you go. Bama Dad. Thoughts of an old soldier said it's okay, but it ain't great. Steve likes the
Browned up.
heart.
Scrapple browned up real good in butter in a cast iron skillet with some eggs over easy. That's good for me. I'll eat that.
I'm with Ron Wayne on that one. That's close to. Yeah,
Yeah, at least with pig's feet, you got a little bit of meat on them. Chicken feet, I don't think so.
Chicken feet be like scraping a toothpick between your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All you're gonna get is a splinter out of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of somebody eating chicken feet. So that's a new one.
I'm not kidding you.
I have. I've seen them in the stores too. So
I
I ain't buying them.
Yeah, he had 4 chicken feet and thought it was just wonderful.
Oh, come on, Scotsman.
Boy, this turned into chef's night out or something over here.
I know. We started talking about squirrel guns. I was telling y'all about mine, and we got off into cooking them, and then yeah, deer heart is delicious.
Now we moved on to other farm animals.
I know it. So, Hot Pot, when you were a little boy, what did you hunt squirrels with?
Used a single shot 22 with my grandfather.
Cool. Tell us about it. Do you remember anything about it?
No, I do not. I don't hunt anymore since he passed away. I went mushroom hunting a few times, but no game hunting since he passed away. Game hunting and fishing I grew up doing with him. And when he passed, I just went different directions. I didn't have that. I didn't have him to go with me anymore, and it really bothered me. So, and I had friends that hunted that invited me along, but I just didn't do it. And so I know how to hunt deer, rabbit, quail, squirrel. I know how to clean everything. I just don't do it anymore. It just walking in the woods without grandpa just saddens me sometimes. I'm an emotional guy. I can't help it.
You gave
But
that
I
up and started hunting 2-legged deer, huh?
Yeah. I do have a squirrel gun. I've got a Marlin Model 60, and it's deadly accurate out to 100 yards on paper, on steel, whatever I want to put it at too. So if I ever get the inclination or find the need to do it, I do have tools for the job.
Ozark, the thing about the hunting squirrels with the shotgun, rabbit, whatever, you never can get all of the shot out. And so you'll be sitting there eating, and all of a sudden you're going to bite down on a piece of lead.
Kind of like eating dove or quail.
Yep. I was just about to say the same thing. You always kind of, I don't know about you guys when shooting quail here, you just kind of breast them. Usually there's not a whole lot else there. And you start looking for the holes and see if you can poke a straw all the way through the hole or not. If you can't, there's probably a chunk of lead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I believe the dove season's open, Kansas and stuff.
Yeah. In the South, Tommy gun, that's a rite of passage. Especially if you got those, you got friends with dogs, and you're not out to kill coons. You're out to listen to the dogs run and listen to them bark, drink moonshine or beer or whatever the case may be.
Coffee. Old timer, they'd sit around that fire. They'd argue over whose dog was running or treeing what. Yeah.
That's my dog. No, that ain't your dog. And the prices of these dogs up in the thousands. Guys.
Yeah. First time I went coon hunting, I loaded up gun. Grandpa said, "What are you taking that for?" So that was going coon hunting. Did not just get that packed dinner or packed snacks and everything that your grandma packed.
Look behind your left shoulder, Hillbilly.
You're being stalked, Hillbilly.
You're being stalked. Somebody heard coon hunting and came and said, "Where? Let's go."
Yeah.
Got a panther about to strike.
I'll tell you one thing. I got a coon keeps tearing up my garbage, and he don't know how close to death he is. As soon as I get out there with an angle where I ain't going to shoot through my neighbor's house, yeah.
Rich. Yeah, good.
Steve, all that, we started talking about brains. Steve's woodworking. All of a sudden, I'm hungry. I gotta go find some dinner. And a lot of you guys are surprising me with the 17 HMR hunting squirrels.
Yeah.
Well, that's what my video is on, and I just bought this rifle that I did the video on here about maybe 10 years ago, and I didn't know too much about 17 HMR, but my old 1022 that's almost 50 years old now is still a good shooter. But we're out there hunting out at my friend Bonnie's place out in the country, and the shots were 100-yard shots a lot of the time. And I was just having trouble reaching out good enough with that 22 long rifle. So I bought the 17 HMR, and let me tell you what, man, that little 17 grain bullet going at 2,500 feet per second is something to contend with. You're not going to have nothing left for that squirrel to eat, I guarantee you, if it hits them. But it's a squirrel killing round for sure. Or even coyotes, ranchers out there use them on coyotes too.
We had a guy up north of us in this town called Bucyrus. He owned a gun store, and every year he would go out to the Dakotas, prairie dog hunt. And he said that they would shoot so many rounds. He would always have two of the exact same gun, the exact same scopes, let one cool down while he was shooting the other one. But
boy,
I've always wanted to go do that. I thought that prairie dog hunting's got to just be so much fun. Ricky's comment out there.
Yeah.
It's a supernova when that thing hits a prairie dog. Yeah, I've got to really like that 17 HMR. The ammo is expensive, but I had bought a bunch of it several years back. California went to this deal where we can't purchase ammo online and have it delivered to our house. You can buy it online, but you have to have it delivered to someone with an FFL, and they're going to charge you to receive it. So that makes it even more expensive. So just before that went into effect, I stocked wide and deep on all my rimfire stuff, that I couldn't make myself. And so I got lots of that 17 HMR, but it's up to 35, 40 cents a round for that stuff now. At least around here, it's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun to shoot though.
Yeah, my son-in-law has one of those, and I mean, I started by one a couple times. I shot his several times, and it's good shooting with a gun. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, around here, you mentioned the word high point outside. The coyotes, they get nervous.
That's another video. That's another video of Chris's. I got to go check out his customer service from High Point video.
Oh yeah, well he had kind of two videos there that were sort of connected, and they're both good. They're both good to watch. You guys in the side chat, if you haven't seen Chris's channel, get over there and watch it, because he had kind of a lame duck High Point carbine, and he got with the High Point company, and it was an issue with this barrel apparently, but I won't tell you the whole story, but it worked out really well, and they gave him some great service. I was surprised.
Never be surprised by High Point service. Never.
I guess not. They've sort of, changed their spots. They had such a bad rep for a long time. They just got, I think, more over the quality of their their firearms and anything about customer service, but it's good to see a company stand behind their product like that.
One of the crazy things that impressed me that I didn't even talk about in the videos is you talk to your gunsmith direct over there. So whoever's working on your gun, you're talking with him while they're fixing what's going on with it. So
Oh, I like that.
yeah, it was really cool. I really want to go over there and tour that place now.
I don't own anything High Point, but those carbines are piquing my interest.
Yeah, kind of me too in a way.
They're a lot of fun.
Not just that, they come in any caliber, any of your pistol calibers, you can get one in.
Yeah.
My friend's got a 380 for his daughter.
Yeah, I put Chris's link out there for that High Point customer service video. It was really
Cool.
good.
Yeah,
You know, Billy?
it was impressive.
You bet. Yeah, if you get a chance to go there and talk to them, ask them if they know me or anything, because they've been ignoring me. I need to get a hold of them, not for customer service, but man,
I'm really liking that Smith takeoff on the Kel-Tec thing, or is it Kel-Tec? I don't know. I really like the Ruger pistol caliber carbines, and I'd really like to have one of those in 40. But if I could get a 10 millimeter, I might go that way. Thought
Yeah.
an old soldier says he's got one in 45, and it's a tag driver.
I had the Ruger PC9 in the takedown version. I love shooting that thing. It's a good shooter.
I love my Ruger PC carbine.
Yeah, me too. That thing's fun.
The one that I really enjoyed shooting at SHOT Show was the Ruger, their 5.7 carbine. That was, gosh, 5.7 is so expensive. I don't need to get into another cartridge either.
Yeah, you're going to play the devil reloading that stuff too.
Oh, I know, because I'll buy the carbine and then I'll have to have a pistol chambered in it, and then I'll have to have another pistol chambered in it, and it'll just it's a rabbit hole I'm not going down.
Famous last words. That's what I think. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm already addicted to the 22 mag now. I don't need another addiction.
Hey, Chris, does a couple separate companies offer stocks for the carbines, the High Point carbines?
I don't know. I mean, I've got the Hightower Armories for my 10 millimeter.
I
And
think
it's a
there's
bullpup kit.
I think there's a couple companies that sell different stocks for them.
There might be.
Okay, we got to get busy here. We've got some
No, we
segments
do.
we need to cover. And first thing we need to do is call out our side chat. So everybody
Yeah.
type in HP for High Point. Hillbilly Up's going to cringe here. He's going to miss out on this. So type in HP and I'll call your name out. There's Walter as always first. Chris from the 740, and they're off the page already. Here we go. Chessboard. Chessboard's got a question for you there, Walter. We'll get to that in a second. GGW Outdoors, Bama Dad, Ricky Baird, Chris from the 740, Fluffy 10 millimeter Jeep guy, Steve's Woodworking and Homestead, Ozark Spirit, Walks Fletcher 6-shooter Texan, Reloader 762, Rich White, M. Gabriel, Ashley A. Kyle, 2 Live Moo, what's up? Hillbilly Up, Woods, Mark Thomas, Thoughts of an Old Soldier, Chessboard, Paul Loud, Bobby Barlow, Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy, Lakeview Outdoors, what's going on, Tony? James Pugh, Floridian, Andy 79Z28. Hey, Andy, you snuck in on me, brother. Boomsticks Revenge, Dale Pogue, R4, Mississippi Thunder, Harm, 2A Syndicate, Chris Lang, James Pollard, Old One Guy, Rick Harris. He's up blowing videos. Thoughts of an Old Soldier, Dale Pogue, Hasbro, the Scottish American, Tim S. Reloading from the Hot Pot, Dwayne 7834, Rollis Carvelis, M. Gabriel, and I think that's all. There's Ting Ting, M1A2 Abrams Tank. So good to see Andy out there. Good deal. Andy's always reloading. And I'm envious of Rollis Carvelis because he just got back from the range. I ain't been to the range in so long, I can't remember when it was. But I want to be going here in the next week or two. There's Kyle Lusk. Y'all know that guy?
I haven't seen him in a while. I wondered if he had gone extinct or something.
He got a job.
He's a
No.
working man.
It's
Yeah.
an endangered species.
So Paul Loud wants to know what you're reloading, Andy. Andy's probably away from the computer doing something. He'll answer you when he gets his hands free.
Let me go back up and answer Chessboard's question there. He had a question about that Ruger PC9. Mine's accurate. It's, it's a plinker. It's a carbine linked barrel, so it's not, going to be accurate for very far out, but I shoot mine out at 50 yards with the dot on it. And it's a fun rifle. Of course, cast bullets, 9mm rounds, cheap to make, cheaper than shooting that 17 HMR, I'll tell you that. So yeah, and I like it. I like the takedown ability of it. It makes it really easy to get in there and clean it. Take it around with you in a case that's half the size of a long rifle case. There's just a lot of good things about it. It wasn't particularly expensive. The one I have, I'll do a little short video on it here maybe this week. It was a distributor special in a Cerakote tan, like a coyote tan Cerakote, and it shoots. You got your choice of a couple of different mags. We can use Glock mags in it, and that's what I use. And so it's a fun rifle, pretty cool. So yeah, I'd recommend mine. Now I've had it for a while, so almost since they first came out. So I don't know what the more modern runs are doing with it, but fun one.
Super reliable too. I mean,
yeah,
I gotta have between 15 to 20,000 rounds through mine now. I've probably shot over 30 competitions with it. I love the gun. They're heavy. They got a little bit of weight to them.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they are just so stupid reliable. I haven't had any parts break in mine, not factory parts.
Right. Yeah. No, they're like you said, they're reliable as the day is long, and ammo's cheap. So
how would it work as a squirrel gun?
depends how far away the squirrel is you're shooting. It's a pretty big bullet to hit a squirrel with. And like I said, mine, past 50 yards, my accuracy with it is not that great. But to be honest with you, I only scoped it once and took it out and tried to shoot out at 100 yards. I couldn't hit diddly with it. But at 50 yards, and of course, like I said, I got a dot on it now just as a target plinker. It's pretty decent with the right ammo. You can put cruddy ammo through it and it won't shoot, just like any gun. But if you customize your ammo for that rifle, it'll shoot it.
It'd be a pretty cool video though to put a scope on it, just like, I don't know, a 3-9 or LPVO, and then tailor a reload just to see how accurate you can get it? That would be kind of a cool video to make.
That would be a fun one to work up something. And there's some cast bullets out there for 9mm that are really good ones too. That would be good choices for that. 147 grain cast bullet would be a good one to go run through that rifle.
I got this mold. I think it's really meant for 380, but it's the Lee 356 102 grain.
Yep,
One
that's a
more.
good bullet. Mm-hmm.
That gun shoots out of my 9mm better than any bullet I got. I have that Tumblelube 124. It's junk compared to that little 102 grain. But in reality, what it's casting is more closer to 110, 112 grain.
Yeah. And there are a couple molds in that category too. And 6-shooter Texan made a mold that runs between 95 and 100 grains, depending on what your alloy is. And he had actually made that for 380, but I shot a few in my 9mm, and you can really push that little bullet fast as well. He made a slick-sided mold and gave me one. And I've shot a lot of that bullet. It's a good bullet too. Well, we probably shouldn't get too far off on ammo and stuff, but since we're talking about the firearms. But
M. Gabriel asked, are those Ruger PC carbines, are they all takedowns? I don't think so.
Mine is.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen one that's not a takedown, but maybe there are.
And that's really where all the weight's at. Yeah.
That knuckle joint there is massive.
Mm-hmm.
For the caliber, and I tell you that you're right, it does add up to a lot of weight right there. Hey, Papa.
There's Papa's place. Don't be sorry. We're glad you're here, dude.
Do they make the PC carbine in any other caliber but 9mm? Because I haven't seen one.
No, they don't.
Didn't they come out with it in 40?
They did.
Did they?
And seems like I've seen them in 45 too, but they're very, very rare.
Yeah.
I think you can
that
order
one.
them from their website. I think that's how you have to have them, get them.
I'd love to have a 40.
Me too.
I got a big old tub of 40 brass just looking at me.
Me too.
Hillbilly, you're muted.
Thanks. Gene, can you run that 40 Smith & Wesson in your high point 10mm?
Yeah, you can.
I've seen guys doing it on videos.
I've seen that too. I have not tried to run any. I've not tried to run any 40 through my new Rock Island, but I did look at a barrel for it, a 40 barrel. Because everybody at the range, man, when I bring that 10mm out at an event, everybody freaks out and they're following me around picking up my brass. Literally, they are. They're following me around picking it up.
Yeah, Steve, I know it's unpopular to say it, but 40's my favorite pistol caliber.
I just got on Ruger's website. They only have them in 9 now. So
yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
That's what Ricky Baird said. Too bad. One of those in 40 would be awesome.
I wonder if there's one floating around out there.
Maybe. I know CW has one in 40, James.
Now, for us that don't reload, where's your 40 Smith & Wesson fit in with the other calibers? Like, what's in between?
Okay, I've got to qualify my statement because
between 38 Super and 10mm, it's like in between there.
Okay.
when I say 40 is my favorite pistol caliber, I'm saying semi-auto handguns. 357 Magnum, 44 Special 44 Magnum. Uh, yeah, 40 don't quite reach that for me.
I'm with you there too, and I love my 45 Colt revolvers. They're just, a lot of history with the single action army type, firearm. I love shooting those things. But I've got a couple of good 40 Smith & Wesson semi-autos also.
Me too. Yeah, High Point's got all of those, but the High Point's not quite what the Ruger is in my mind. Anyway, so Gene, are you still there, buddy?
Yep.
Well, it's time for What Hot Pot Got.
What's Hot Pot got tonight? Well, I'll show you what Hot Pot's got. This is a bit of a Gucci round, not very well known. I was sorting the other day, and this came through the rough sorter. This bullet did. And I see a lot of stuff, and odd things stand out to me, so I picked it up. Didn't have any head stamp on it at all, which told me it's a reload, because nothing I've never seen anything like that come through. Then a piece of the actual brass came through, and they only make it in nickel, and it's made by Federal. And this is a 6x47. This is a bench rest Gucci round. What this piece of brass is a 222 necked up to a 6x47 millimeter. I got a little piece on it here. The only rifle company that makes this is Remington, and it's a 40X. The 6x47 is a 222 Magnum necked up to 6 millimeter. It's a Wildcat cartridge. Originated, remains solely as a bench rest cartridge only. They do not make factory ammunition for this, but they do make the cases, and only in nickel. Just a wild little thing I seen come through, and I thought I'd share this with all of you. If anybody out there has any more information on it, I mean, I've got a whole piece in front of me, but I will tell you this about it. Let me get over this other. The feet per second on this, you can bump up to, what's that? 3,500 feet per second. So that would be one flat shooting 6 millimeter cartridge.
Boy, I guess.
Isn't that just cool? I get to see some of the neatest stuff up through there.
Very interesting.
Cool.
This one apparently got bumped on the front, probably through loading it, because of the flat spot on that lead tip. So it was ejected out because it's, Gucci bench rest stuff. And we know how some of those bench rest shooters get.
Yeah, they sort their bullets, man.
Weigh each one.
Yeah. Put them in groups.
But that's the only two I found that came through the machine, was that the reloaded cartridge and then the Federal case.
Yeah, I was. Let's see that one more time. Steve brings up talking about your square shoulders. That is beyond Ackley improved, isn't it?
That is a factory Federal case.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
But that is what Hot Pot's got.
Very cool, Gene. Thanks for sharing that with us. That's something that the rest of us most likely would never, ever see.
I got more.
Oh, boy. You tempter, you. You're just teasing us now.
I got enough for a couple months.
Good on you.
and I keep looking for more.
Yeah, that's first thing I thought of when I saw that shoulder was Ackley improved. That's past that. That's almost 90 degrees.
I love working there because I through the rough sort that comes from the ranges, you get to see a little bit of everything and things that I have no clue about. I have to Google them and look them up on Wikipedia and all this other stuff to find out what it is.
Yeah, but it's good you've got those resources to be able to do it. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, we didn't have that kind of stuff. We'd
Yeah.
have to take something to the local gun store and ask some old timer.
Well, it's sad that other companies didn't take on the chambering for it. Remington's the only one.
Yeah.
They said it's a heck of a varmint round too. I'm not sure what this projectile weighs, but when I looked them up, they were saying that the projectiles themselves, they were using 58 grain VMAX and 65 grain VMAX. That looks a little heavier than that to me. So I'm not sure what that is. I might pull that and weigh that. Give a little feedback on my community post about that.
Okay. 308 Marlin Express is a rimmed version of the 308 Winchester that is shortened by about 1/10 of an inch. So it has about 3.5% less powder capacity. And yeah, I Googled it. But Marlin did that with that and the 444 Marlin to be able to chamber these in their lever actions. And they were unique chamberings to Marlin lever action. I don't think you can buy 338 Marlin Express anymore. And the 444 Marlin is a 44 Magnum with a lengthened case and higher capacity. Good night, thoughts of an old soldier. Teach 'em good tomorrow. Any other things like that? They're not good squirrel guns. You have no meat left.
Yeah, you shoot squirrel over in the next county with that thing.
Probably. Yeah, they did a lot of tinkering back in the day. And there we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hey!
How you doing, Mario?
What's going on? There's Milsurp Duo.
Boy.
Ricky Baird says 444 Marlin's his most favorite cartridge. Good to see Milsurp out there. See, Milsurp, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, not get new calibers to load. and inevitably I'm gonna have to do it because I'm falling in love with this 308 Winchester. There you go, Walks. Headshots only. And 45 Colt is intriguing me in a way that I'm not going to be able to resist a whole lot longer. It's just too historic and too cool not to have 45 Colt.
I love both of my 45 Colts.
I'm having the
Yeah.
same issue.
I got several in the stable, and one of my favorites.
I'll have a single action clone before the end of the year. I know it.
In 45.
Yep.
Well,
About Mario's question.
What do you say? I didn't see it. Gas
I mean,
checks.
gas checks.
That'd be depending on the application, wouldn't it?
Don't put diesel in them.
Well, a little gas check don't hold much anyway, but there a gas check is something that goes with a cast bullet, and there are 30 caliber cast bullets that are designed for gas checks, and there are those that are not. So, it's kind of your choice, I guess. The whole powder coating thing with cast bullets has somewhat at least mitigated the need for gas checks. On my pistol caliber bullets that I cast that are designed to accept a gas check, I don't use them. I don't have any stability issues with them at the distances I'm shooting, and they add nickel to the cost of your round, so I don't do it.
Well, Bama Dad blessed me with the gas check makers, so I'm going to be buying some material to make some gas checks. Maybe I'll send you some. This is my thing about gas checks, Mr. Mario. If the bullet is designed to have a gas check on it, it will shoot better if you put a gas check on. And Tommy Boy just said the same thing. Do you have to have a gas check now that we've switched over to powder coating from traditional lube? Not necessarily. It's just in my mind, I feel like that if the bullet is designed for the gas check, it's going to shoot better with a gas check on.
It's always struck me, and I got no personal experience with a bigger cartridge shooting out to longer distance, and whether this would be correct or not. But that a lot of our copper jacketed bullets that we shoot out of the larger calibers are boat tail bullets. And a gas check design bullet without the gas check has got a kind of I'll say a depression around the base of that bullet that would make it something like a boat tail, except that that edge around where the gas check goes it's got to create some turbulence in a higher velocity round, and it would worry me that might upset the stability if you're shooting some of those rounds out to a fast round out to a longer distance, that it may have some effect on accuracy. And kind of the whole point with that gas check was to help prevent hot gases from blowing past the sides of that bullet while it's in the barrel. And those gases can behave like an oxyacetylene torch and just spray lead out in front of the bullet all the way down a barrel. And the gas check helps seal that up and keep that from happening. But again, with powder coating, it may not be necessary.
Hey, Papa's got a little concern that he's not seeing Mario's comments. Papa, that's because we've got several panel members that are sharing the stream on their channel, and Mario's watching on one of those other channels, not the Georgia Shooting Connection that you're watching on, and that's why you're not seeing his comments. But
Yeah,
Jamie can post.
Mario's over on my side watching right now.
Yeah, Jamie can post those comments up on the screen so we all see them. But depending on whose stream you're watching is whose comments you see.
Yeah.
And anybody that's watching on my side, I've got the link to Georgia Shooting Connection pinned up at the top of the comments. You guys can just come over here, and then you're hanging out with everybody. So
Yeah. Yeah, I keep posting the link on mine too. So
So
all I got to do is click that link.
to answer Mario's question, M1 Garands take a lower pressure round than buying factory ammo. Now you can buy the M1 factory stuff from the civilian marksmanship program, among other places. But there's a special section in our reloading manuals in the 30-06 category for M1 Garands. So if you stick to that load data, it's perfectly safe to reload for your M1 Garand.
yeah, I was watching a YouTube video the other day where one of the guy's YouTube channel, he actually borrowed a Garand from someone, and he was just shooting random 30-06. I'm like, oh God, this could not be good, but it was fine. Everything went good on it.
Wow.
Except for he gives the gun back and the guy's out shooting it 2 weeks later and it tears up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, when he said he borrowed it, and then there was ammo that he had 30 out. Hopefully the ammo came from the guy that let him borrow the gun, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to. It was definitely over gas, Steve. You know it was. Yeah, guys sitting there said, I ordered this ammunition from the civilian marksmanship program. How in the world did I get a bent op rod? And Andre D'Angelo says Federal makes M1 Garand ammo. Cool. No, you got a bigger problem than JB Weld, Bama Dad. All of a sudden, your piston ain't moving. There you go. 48.95 is what was formulated for the M1 Garand. If you're getting that data, you won't go wrong with that, or with 4064 or the 3031. If I'm not mistaken, 4064 is an updated version of the 4895. Yeah, but the true power at 30-06 is way over 2,000 feet per second.
James, is that with a gas check design bullet? Kyle,
Yeah.
you got to get a day job, Kyle. Tim S. That beeping was coming from my channel, there's a truck backing into a parking spot out there.
All right. Okay, so we're coming up on 9:30. I think it's about time for our Bible verse of the week. Y'all want to hear a good one?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Last week we talked about John 3:16. And I'm gonna see if I can share this. And this is the English Standard Version. And we talked last week about 3:16, which reads, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life." Verse 17 dovetails right into that. "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him." So we see that God sent Jesus to die on the cross for our sins so that we can have eternity with him. But we also see that he didn't send Jesus into the world to condemn the world, but that through Jesus the world will be saved, which is us. And he didn't send Jesus to condemn the world. And this is the way my mind works. He didn't send Jesus in here down here to condemn the world. So he came to save the world. So if he didn't come to condemn the world, but to save the world, what right do we have to go around judging other people? And I think one of the big problems in the church, capital C, universal, is that we spend too much time looking for what's wrong with our brothers and sisters instead of loving them the way Jesus declared for us to do. And so that's my thing. I think we spend too much time looking for what's wrong with somebody else. The way Jesus put it is, you want to help your brother get the speck out of his eye when you got a log in yours. So why do we really condemn people? Why are we really looking for things that are wrong with other people to make ourselves look better, to make ourselves
Exactly.
feel better, to make ourselves seem like, well,
Yeah.
there's another story in the Bible where Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he says, two men go to the temple to pray, and one prays this: "Lord, I thank you that I'm not like these other people, like this man here." He says, I tithe 10% of everything I acquire, and I go to the synagogue every Sabbath, and I praise you. And then Jesus says, but this other man goes and he says, "Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner." Which one of these two you think walked away from the temple more righteous? I think that's a big thing. And I don't want to say it's in our world today because it was going on when Jesus was here, and it's still going on to this day. Like Well, we can't let them join our church because they're living together and they're not married. They've got different last name, but they've got the same address. Well, marry them then. You know, don't sit there and judge people. Anybody else? I'm spouting off.
Well, what spews from your mouth is always good to hear. I'll say that, Jamie. Never heard a bad piece of wisdom come out of your head yet. But that verse is a good one to keep in mind, that Jesus was not sent down to the earth to condemn everybody else. And if we're going to follow that pathway, then we kind of need to do the same thing. It's not our position to go out and judge everybody else. Although I think that it's somewhat human nature to want to do that. It's hard for us to not judge, particularly when there's something that we've got floating around up in here that somehow bothers us about ourselves. And I think we look to put a coat of paint over that by focusing our attention on other people and saying, well, I can't be as bad as I think I am because look at this guy, he's worse. You need to look for the good in people, and if you look, you'll find it in anybody. It's there. If you look for the worst in somebody, you'll find some of that too. So why focus on that side of the issue? Focus on what's good about somebody. Like Jamie said, if they're not married, well, then marry them. We don't need to go.
And then let them join your church, right?
Absolutely. So it's a fool's mission to go running around looking for the worst in folks. Of course, there's going to be issues. Everybody's got issues. Look for the good part and expand on that if you can.
Well,
Absolutely.
I misunderstood Jamie in that. I thought he said if they're not married and you're single, go marry her. Sorry about that. I misunderstood that. I'm joking, Jamie.
I would not recommend marriage to anybody.
Better off to just go find a woman you don't like and buy her a house, huh?
Absolutely.
Buy her a house, buy her a car, and give her half of all your income for the next 10 years. Live the dream, baby.
Yeah, we're bad.
My grandma always said when you're pointing your finger at somebody, you're pointing one finger at them and you're pointing three back at yourself. So don't be doing that.
That's very true.
Yeah. But I would like to say something if the fellas don't mind. One thing in that verse there you was reading, Jamie, it says that can you pull that up again for you still got it there?
Guess what the verse is going to be next week?
18.
18.
I know what 18 says.
Yeah.
You knew what 17 said.
The reason I wanted you to pull that up, I didn't want to misquote it there, but so God sent his son to the world not to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him. And I think that's sometimes something we kind of miss a little bit because when Jesus was here, he came as a man, like one of us, and he had that choice to take those sins upon himself or not. And none of us could imagine what that burden was that that he's seen and, you know, what he took for us. And he made the decision, I feel like, because, I mean, it didn't say so he had to say, you know, the world had to be, you know, he had to save the world. I always felt like he had the choice, and he took that upon himself, with us being sinners and everything, and, you know, probably knowing what was going to happen, you know, but he made that choice so we could be saved through him. And yeah, I think that's just a big part of it. You know, that means a lot to me because, you know, he made that choice, and I'm so glad he did, because otherwise, you know, we'd all be, you know, condemned to hell. And, you know, I'm so thankful that he made that choice, and that through him that you know, we are saved. So, you know, just don't forget that part of it. And it has to be through him. So, and okay, Jamie, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can pull that off now or whatever you want to do. I just wanted to make sure I quoted that right, but one thing that always, it kind of tickled me in a way when said the leaders or men of the town or whatever brought the lady to Jesus, and they're going to stone her to death or whatever, and because she had sinned and all this, and yeah, I can't quote, you know, all the scripture right there, but it did say that he wrote on the ground, and it don't tell us what he wrote, but as he wrote on the ground, men turned around and walked away.
That's
And
John.
for some
That's
reason,
John.
I like it. Pardon?
That's John chapter 8, where they bring to
Yeah.
him the woman that's caught in the act of adultery.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of myself just, I mean, it evidently don't matter what he wrote on the ground, but what I wonder myself what he was writing there. It'd be like, so you're wanting to, you know, punish this woman to death, and he, you know, he may have wrote down, "Hillbilly, you remember this? What you done? You know, so and so, you remember this? What you done? You know." So like he knows all, you know, and I think myself personally, I wonder if he didn't like remind those people there, a few of them, of their own sins that they thought nobody else knew. And they're like, I'll just turn around and walk away, you know?
My
And
dad has the theory that he bent over and was writing down names, dates, and times of the accusers that had been with her themselves.
oh,
Boy, oh boy, that'd do it, wouldn't it?
That's a good thought.
Definitely did. I want to leave for my name shows up on that.
Yeah, well, you were with her 3 Saturday nights ago, and you were with her 2 Saturday nights ago.
Man, they'd have turned around faster than 2 nuts at the end of an impact wrench. Man.
Well, what did he say at the end? He says, "Where are those accusers of yours? Does none stay to condemn you? Neither do I."
Yep.
So, Bama Dad's absolutely right. Jesus is about restoration, not condemnation.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's our
That's a
Bible.
good one to talk about. Yep, good one. Thank you.
And John chapter 8 is probably, if it's allowed, that is probably my absolute favorite chapter in the Bible. Y'all should read it sometime.
Yeah.
M1, he said that right as they were hollering to Stoner. He said that. Then he bent over and started
Mhm.
writing in the sand.
Yeah. I always took it to mean that he was making a list. Not that he needed to make a list. I mean, because he probably knew anyway, but it's like, all right, who's that over there? Let me get you. I'm writing your name down. Fun to
Yeah,
think
you're
about in a way.
I don't believe in religion, Tommy boy. I believe in a relationship. Religion is a set of rules that no human can live up to. Which could be Marxism. I don't know what Marxism is. I know one thing. Uh, um, Dang, I could say his name. Lee Harvey Oswald claimed to be a Marxist. What? You unsubscribed from Georgia Shoe Connection?
We got him straightened out now.
Good deal. Lee Harvey Oswald was FBI. I'm glad you enjoy them, Lakeview. It's my heart. I always thought Lee Harvey Oswald was CIA more than FBI. James, I don't think so. Did Lee Harvey Oswald make the shot?
I seen a strange video on that, and this video put it to the driver of the car. Have you seen that one?
Say that
I didn't see
again.
that one.
I seen a video on this just not long ago, and they were putting it on the driver of the car, the agent that was
Oh,
actually driving the car.
yeah, I've heard those theories that somebody in the limousine actually had an had an M16, and what killed him was him pulling the gun up to try to fire back at the assailants and shot. I've heard most all the theories.
Well, the head movement was what got me because it went backwards, and so I shot a lot of stuff, and very seldom of it jumped towards me.
Yeah,
This was
Bob says they had a man in the sewer. So people want to know who killed JFK. My mama told me early on it was the man who had the most to gain and the man that had the power to cover it up. And
They
to
might have a
me,
building named after him.
LBJ, J. Edgar Hoover, the CIA, Sam Giancana, and the guy in Cuba, Fidel Castro. Those guys, that's where I'm starting to look. Those five guys in any combination or whatever. So, She was, Chris. Too bad I didn't get. Yeah, Dwayne, they could have. And I think they knew what was going on, but they're in on it. So they definitely, yeah. Um, yeah, that dude. That dude. Y'all should do some studying on Lyndon Baines Johnson, by the way. Next time you're sitting around on a rainy, cold day coming up in the wintertime, you got nothing to do. Uh, find out what a fine, outstanding citizen your 36th president of the United States, Mr. Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Well, I mean, he's the hero of our current leader. So, I mean, I don't know.
Sad.
Wants to be just like LBJ, you said.
You're on mute, Walter. We missed what you said, and I bet it was a gem.
No, nothing. I was just saying, hey, if this guy liked him, how bad could LBJ really be, right? I mean, what a recommendation.
I'm thinking LBJ, FJB.
Oh, yeah. Manny Moe and Jack.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Mark knows this. Maybe without me saying it, Mark, the knowledge you have on history, you know what he did with gold back in the day? LBJ?
No. What are you thinking?
Made it legal for any citizen to own gold. They all had to turn it in for base price. And once everybody turned it in, they raised the price of gold by 30 times. And they're the only ones that had it. It's in the books. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big hairy deal right there, Rollis. And what Steve said too, the whole Cuba thing was a big hairy deal too. Chad Kelly made it in.
Howdy, Chad.
My buddy the Rebel made it in. And chessboard Jack Ruby crawled out of the woodwork for one express purpose, and that was to shut up Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Mr. Pollard, this is the thing. That's an easy shot at a stationary target. And it's not that hard with a moving target, especially when the guy who's driving the limousine is in on the fix and he practically stops right there in plain view. So you got a good I mean, he's moving at 3 miles an hour when the first shot rang out. Okay, so that's not a hard shot at all. The problem is doing it with the rifle that he had to do it with, because that is a hunk of junk. In my opinion. Ron Wayne's got us president and vice president, Walter.
I'm ready. Vote for you.
So this is my platform. Anything bad you hear about me, that people say about me, it's probably true. More than likely, it's not a lie, but that was before Jesus. So there you go.
Yep.
And honestly, after Jesus ain't a whole lot better, but it's just not on purpose anymore.
There's Chad Kelly. Hey, Chad, good to see you.
Well, Steve, to hear the people talk, it was not an off the shelf rifle, it was a through the mail order rifle. All right, we got to get out of here, guys. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Thanks to Chris and Hillbilly for sharing us with their viewers over on their channels. You guys are welcome in here any Friday night. So let's go through the room and clear the deck for Mr. Gizzard Gary coming up at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. I'll be somewhere else. Walter, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
Are you going to be the president or the vice president?
Oh, I'd be the president of Vice in a heartbeat.
Well, there you go.
What can I say? You guys know me. You know, I got a lot of Vice. You know, I got 4 or 5 of them on my reloading bench right now. So, all right. So I got a couple things going on. I got a couple videos that I put up today, and I'm starting on a campaign to shoot up what I call orphans, and that's my jugs of cast bullets that only got a few left in them and are just sitting there because it doesn't seem like there's enough there to warrant making a couple boxes worth. So I started that today. I had a couple small jars of some wad cutters, and so I'm got a video coming up here about loading those wad cutters up. I had a Hensley and Gibbs number 50 and a Lyman number 63, and getting those loaded up. Going to go take them to range and shoot them. And I got all these other things that are, you know, 5s and 10s and 20s and 30s, you know, bullets left. And so I'm going to start shooting just for the fun of it. And associated with that, we're going to be doing some more reloading, not so much on the YouTube channel, but on my Rumble channel. And I'll put a blurb on the YouTube channel, say, hey, I got some reloading we want to show you today over on Rumble. So that's what we got going on. We got Moldy Monday number 28, I think it is, already coming up this coming Monday. So that'll be there. That video is already done. It's just waiting to get posted. So that's kind of what we're going on. Let's see. Oh, I'm going out to my friend Bonnie's out in the country, out in the Cuyama Valley. You've heard me talk about her and shooting squirrels out at her place. And her grandson, one of the boys that has shot quite a bit with me out there, graduated high school and this is his last weekend home before he goes off to the U.S. of Army. So we're giving him a little send-off barbecue tomorrow. So that's what's happening here at Casa de Viejo. Who wants to go next? Mark Thomas, I nominate you.
All righty. I don't like that I have too much coming up. Supposed to be a rainy weekend here, so I don't know what we'll get out and about to do. But we'll look forward to, I guess, the end of next week and getting together with everybody again. Been a wonderful evening. Awesome hanging out with y'all. Great side chat. Picked up a couple new squirrel recipes, a couple of new vices, and I'm going to pass it off to Chris.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks, Jamie, for the invite. I had a great time tonight. Always enjoy hanging out with everybody here. Side chat was awesome. I got a ton of stuff coming up, as always. I got 2 new guns sitting here, 2 new optics, a bunch of parts. So I'm going to be busy. I filmed all morning today, going back out in the morning, hopefully get back out Sunday as long as the rain stays away. So, yeah, that's what I got coming up. A lot of stuff. And thanks again for having me, Jamie. Appreciate you.
Hey,
And,
man, thanks for being here. It's great to catch up with you for a little bit.
I'm gonna pass it off to Gene.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I always have a great time on Georgia Shooting Connection. Lots of great chat tonight and great panel. Let's see. I got a couple videos I got to get edited. Got to work half a day tomorrow, and then I got to shoot on Sunday. So hopefully I'll do well on that. Fingers crossed. As always, everything goes well. But man, it's been a great time. And with that, Hillbilly.
Thank you, Gene, the reloading machine. I appreciate that, buddy. Man, what a fun Friday night. I always love it. Always look forward to it. It's so fun. I also have a lot of stuff coming out, videos tomorrow night on Guns, Beer, and Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. We have the giveaway for Garage Guy. He's giving away that shotgun, and so everybody got their entries in, and we'll be doing the giveaway on Guns, Beer, and Therapy tomorrow night. That'll be a lot of fun, and plus I have a giveaway for people that gave through my channel, and this was all to go help out Lakeview Outdoors, help out his wife. And so anyway, we got a lot of stuff planned over there, and then the following Saturday will be my 1K giveaway. So we're going to have a big giveaway party the next Saturday. So just don't miss it. There's always giveaways, even if you didn't get entered in like something like the gun draw lane or something like that. We still do giveaways, through the night on the show. So, don't miss out. And thanks a lot for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you. So we've had a fun time. We had over 60 folks here. We're streamed out on 4 different platforms, so that's awful cool. Again, thanks to Hillbilly and Chris. And golly, guys, y'all know the drill. We got so many good chats coming on every single night. Elliot, AR Guns, was on earlier this evening. So if y'all get a chance next week, check him out. I'm assuming G23 is doing his thing tomorrow at 6. Uncle Jim at 8. Hillbilly up at 10. Then Sunday, make sure you go check out the Trapper, Georgia Trapping and Fishing, at 2 p.m. And then at 7 on Sunday night is the Sunday Night Roundtable on the Scottish American channel. And with that, we're going to sign off and let y'all nice folks get on with your weekend. We hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night.